Armchair. Lineup for yesterday by Ogden Ash. A is for Alex, the great Alexander. More goose eggs he pitched than a popular gander. B is for Bresnahan, back of the plate. The Cubs were his love and McGraw his hate. C is for Cobb, who grew spikes, not corn, and made all the basemen wish they weren't born. D is for Dean, the grammatical diz. When they asked who's the tops, said correctly I is. E is for Evers, his jaw in advance, never afraid to tinker with chance. F is for Fordham, and Frankie and Fish. I wish he were back with the Giants, I wish. G is for Gehrig, the pride of the stadium. His record, pure gold. His courage, pure radium. H is for Hornsby. When pitching to Raj, the pitcher would pitch, then the pitcher would dodge. I is for me, not a hard-hitting man, but an outstanding all-time, incurable fan. J is for Johnson, the big train in his prime, was so fast he could throw 3 strikes at a time. K is for Keeler, as fresh as green paint, the fastest and mostest to hit where they ain't. L is for LaHoy, whom Clevelanders love, Napoleon himself with glue in his glove. M is for Matty, who carried a charm in the form of an extra brain in his arm. N is for Newsom, Bobo's favorite Ken. You ask how he's here, he talked himself in. O is for Ott, of the restless right foot. When he leaned on the pellet stay put. P is for Plank, the arm of the A's. When he tangled with Matty, games lasted for days. Q is for Don Quixote, Cornelius Mack. Neither Yankees nor years can halt his attack. R is for Ruth, to tell you the truth. There's no more to be said, just R is for Ruth. S is for Speaker, swift center field tender. When the ball saw him coming, it yelled, I surrender. T is for Terry, the giant from Memphis, whose 400 average you can't overemphasize. U would be Ubel if Carl wore a Cockney, but we say Hubble in baseball like football in Rockney. V is for Vance, the Dodgers' very own Dazzy. None of his rivals could throw as fast as he. W, Wagner, the bow-legged beauty, short, close to all traffic with Honus on duty. X is the first of 2 X's in Fox, who was right behind Ruth with his powerful socks. Y is for Young, the magnificent sigh. People battled against him, but I never knew why. Z is for Zenith, the summit of fame. These men are up there. These men are the game. Lineup for yesterday, Ogden Ash, January 1949, Sport Magazine. Casey at the Bat by Ernest Lawrence Thayer. The outlook wasn't brilliant for the Mudville Nine that day. The score stood 4-2, but with one inning more to play. And when Cooney died at first and Barrows did the same, a pall-like silence fell upon the patrons of the game. A straggling few got up to go in deep despair. The rest clung to the hope which springs eternal in the human breast. They thought, if only Casey could but get a whack at that, we'd put up even money now with Casey at the bat. But Flynn preceded Casey, as did Jimmy Blake, and the former was a hoodoo while the latter was a cake. So upon that stricken multitude grim melancholy sat, for there seemed but little chance of Casey getting to the bat. But Flynn let drive a single to the wonderment of all, and Blake, the much despised, tore the cover off the ball. And when the dust had lifted and men saw what had occurred, there was Jimmy safe at second and Flynn a hugging third. Then from 5,000 throats and more rose a lusty yell. It rumbled through the valley, it rattled in the dell. It pounded on the mountain and recoiled upon the flat, for Casey, mighty Casey, was advancing to the bat. There was ease in Casey's manner as he stepped into his place. There was pride in Casey's bearing, and a smile lit Casey's face. And when responding to the cheers, he lightly doffed his hat. No stranger in the crowd could doubt 'twas Casey at the bat. 10,000 eyes were on him as he rubbed his hands with dirt. 5,000 tongues applauded when he wiped them on his shirt. Then while the writhing pitcher ground the ball into his hip, defiance flashed in Casey's eye, a sneer curled Casey's lip. And now the leather-covered sphere came hurtling through the air, and Casey stood a-watching it in a haughty grandeur there. Closed by the sturdy batsman, the ball unheeded sped. That ain't my style, said Casey. Strike one, the umpire said. From the benches black with people, there went up a muffled roar, like the beating of a storm waves on a stern and distant shore. Kill him! Kill the umpire! Shouted someone on the stand, and it's likely they'd have killed him had not Casey raised his hand. With the smile of Christian charity, great Casey's visage shone. He stilled the rising tumult. He bade the game go on. He signaled to the pitcher, and once more the dun sphere flew. But Casey ignored it, and the umpire said, "Strike two." "Fraud!" cried the maddened thousands, and echoed answered, "Fraud!" But one scornful look from Casey, and the audience was awed. They saw his face grow stern and cold. They saw his muscles strain. And they knew that Casey wouldn't let that ball go by again. The sneer is from Casey's lip. His teeth are clenched in hate. He pounds with cruel violence his bat upon the plate. And now the pitcher holds the ball. And now he lets it go. And now the air is shattered by the force of Casey's blow. Well, somewhere in the favored land, the sun is shining bright. The band is playing somewhere, and somewhere hearts are light. And somewhere men are laughing, and somewhere children shout. But there is no joy in Mudville. Mighty Casey has struck out. Casey at the Bat, Ernest Lawrence Thayer, published June 3rd, 1888. San Francisco Examiner.
Well, the season's finally here.
The Armchair Quarterbacks are back. Saturdays, 10 a.m., you'll be tailgating with the Armchair Quarterbacks. Mac Magee, Joey and Tones, and the rest of the Armchair Quarterbacks live, 10 a.m., Saturdays this fall. Talking college football, SEC, ACC, Big Ten, the NFL, fantasy football advice, and our picks against the spread. Right here on Braves Country HD, 99.1 FM, WQEE.
Yeah, the Armchair Quarterback.
There's a very peaceful thing. It was created and played in pastures and meadows. There's grass, there's outdoors, there's everything that people thought was American and feel about America. You get in a ballpark, and it's the wonder of walking through that dark tunnel and seeing a huge open space where men play the little boy's game.
Touch a ball, Joe. You'll never hit a bigger home run in your life.
A room in right center. If he hits one there, we can dance in the streets. The 2-1. Swung line drive left field. One run is in. Here comes Braves. Here's the throw to the plate. He is safe. Braves win. Braves win. Braves win. Braves win.
We're down to one strike here. Gurriel, the last hope for the Houston Astros. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swung on, bounced over to Dansby. Dansby fires it over to first. And here comes the dog pile. Fire the cannons in the battery. Do the chop all throughout Braves country. Pop that top. Your Atlanta Braves have won it all.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose what stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we once were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red bellows bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Play ball. Good evening, y'all. American League Championship Series Game 1. Of course, the sounds will be a little different than we normally have because everything's based on the chop and everything. So you'll have to bear with us as we're bringing you the American League Championship Series. And Game 1 went to the Rangers, in case some of y'all may have missed that. Texas wins 2-0. Game 2 this afternoon in Houston. And then games 3, 4, and 5 will all be in Dallas, taking on the Texas Rangers at Globe Life Field. So we're looking forward to this. Haven't had a lot of chance to see these two teams play, so looking forward to this showdown. And the matchup today is a pretty darn good one. You got Eovaldi versus Framber Valdez, and we'll hit the lineups real quick before they throw up first pitch. Going to experiment with something. I may have found a faster feed, so we're going to experiment with something once the game gets going. Right now, we're going to use this box score, but if it ends up being a little slower than what I'm expecting, I think I found an answer to it. Anyways, leading off for the Texas Rangers, Marcus Semien will be playing second base, 29 home runs, 100 RBI, 14 stolen bases, batting .276. Corey Seager batting second, playing short, 33 home runs, 96 RBI, 2 stolen bases, batting .327. Robbie Grossman batting third, playing left, 10 home runs, 49 RBI, 1 stolen base, batting .238. Adolis Garcia is the cleanup hitter in right field with 39 home runs, 107 RBI, 9 stolen bases, batting .245. Garver is the designated hitter with 19 home runs, 50 RBI, and a .270 average. Heim is behind home plate with 18 home runs, 95 RBI, 2 stolen bases, batting .258. Nathaniel Lowe is at first, 17 homers, 82 RBI, 1 stolen base, batting .262. And if any Ranger fans want to correct me, I'm not 100% sure which one is Lowe and which one is Lau. I know there are two, one plays for Texas and one for Tampa Bay, and I always get the two confused. I meant to Google it, but if not, I'll do it here in a little bit. Young is at third base, 23 home runs, 70 RBI, 1 stolen base, a .266 average. Tavares is in center field, and he has 14 home runs, 67 RBI, 14 stolen bases, batting .266. Astros lineup looks like this. Jose Altuve leading off and playing second with 17 home runs, 51 RBI. Is it starting to... Well, I lost they changed it on me. So finishing out the lineup for the Houston Astros, it'll be Altuve, Bregman at third, Kyle Tucker in right field batting third. Yordan Alvarez is the designated hitter batting cleanup. Abreu at first. Brantley in left field. McCormick in center. Pena playing short. Maldonado is behind home plate. Framber Valdez is doing his final warm-up tosses. Houston is in their navy tops with Astros across the chest in orange. Down the side of their jerseys, they have the classic stripes from the 1980s. I call them the Nolan Ryan jersey stripes. White pants, numbers in orange on the back. The Texas Rangers are coming in with their road grays, Texas across the front. We're just about set for first pitch. Here on Braves Country Radio, we are bringing you the American League Championship Series. Hope you all enjoy it. And we'll get into a lot of stuff as the game goes on. Fans of all teams, welcome in. We chose this one because I felt like this one had the most punch, the most bite to the series. Rangers and Astros, Battle of Texas, two of your higher payrolls in baseball, more star power on this end. I'll be keeping an eye on the NLCS, but honestly, I don't know how much of a chance Arizona really has. Framber Valdez is warming up his final tosses. We're just about set here in Houston. There's a little bit of a delay. They should have gotten first pitch out there by now, but we're waiting for the final warm-up tosses, and it's just about to begin. Rangers nothing, Astros nothing. Top of the first inning, Marcus Semien stepping to the plate. Lefty-righty matchup. Your home plate umpires Mark Rippiger, Doug Eddings at first, second base man by Marvin Hudson. Jordan Baker's down the third base line, and Dan Bellino in left, Stu Sherwater in right. We're just about set. First pitch on the way. Framber Valdez fires one in. That ball is roasted up the middle underneath the glove of Jeremy Pena. And Marcus Semien is on for a base hit. A leadoff single here in the top of the first inning. The first pitch on the way to Seager is swung on, and he slices it down the left field line. That's going to get down for a base hit. So 2 pitches and 2 singles to start off the game. That one was a seeing eye single, just kind of sawed off the hands of Seager. Both Semien and Seager kind of having a smile as they know that ball was not well hit, but it found the right spot. Bregman and Brantley chasing, could not get to it. And that'll bring up Grossman to the plate. Grossman takes the first pitch inside, down and in, look like the curveball. It's 1-0. Lefty-righty matchup. Grossman, the switch hitter, takes the pitch down and in for a ball. 2-0. So a 2-0 count. Runners on first and second, nobody out. The pitch on the way. Swung on, fouled straight back. It's 2-1. We're going to switch the screen real quick. I think I found a better screen to do this with. There we go. The 2-1 pitch, right there at the knees, first strike. It's 2-2. So a 2-2 count, swung on. That ball's a comebacker towards the mound. Bobbling is Framber Valdez. He fires it over to first, and it's a bad throw. It's going to get away. A run will score. Texas leads 1-0. Runners on second and third, and still nobody out. A terrible throw by Valdez. He was thrown off because he bobbled it first and then just kind of slung it over there, and the ball came right in the base path. Jose Abreu was trying to make the play, but had to kind of alligator arm it to get out of the way of Grossman, who was charging down the line. So the ball essentially was thrown and hit by the runner. About 120 years ago, he would have been considered soaked and out, but instead, you got runners on second and third, nobody out. Texas leads 1-0. That'll bring Adolis Garcia to the plate. So a bad start to Framber Valdez. Got to figure the veteran's going to be okay, but shaky beginning. First pitch on the way to Adolis Garcia. That ball is dropped into right field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Here comes Seager. He scores, and Texas leads at 2-0. Grossman goes second to third. They held him up at third base. No sense of running out of an inning when Framber Valdez is on the ropes. So an unbelievable bad start to this game for Valdez and the Astros. Still just a 2-0 game, and two offenses with plenty of punch can get back in this. Texas 2, Houston 0. Top of the first inning. Seems like there's some kind of a issue with the umpires and their, for lack of a better term, I think it's a strap on his, at first I thought it was an electronic device, but it looks like it's just the strap on his umpire mask. You would think they would have a quick fix for this, but maybe it's just one of those things that they're not expecting. And anyways, to recap real quick, you got runners on first and third, runners on the corners, nobody out. Coming to the plate is Mitch Garver, the designated hitter. As we await them to get that figured out. Remember, tonight you've got Phillies and Diamondbacks coming on at 8:07. And that is going to be Zach Gallen versus Zach Weaver. So runners on the corners, nobody out. They're going to give Valdez a couple of warm-up pitches because of the delay. Valdez in a heap of trouble. If he can limit the damage, I'm sure what he's looking at right now is trying to at least keep that runner at first from scoring. He's been getting too much of the plate early on here in the game. Had a couple of bad luck hits. But that one by Garcia, he stuck his foot in the ground, just drove it to right field. He had a bad luck error. First pitch on the way to Garver as we're back set is a ball down and in, 1-0. The 1-0 pitch. Valdez lets her fly. Swing! And that ball is roasted into left field. That's going to get down for a base hit. It's 3-0 Texas. Runners on first and second. Nobody out there playing station to station. As Framber Valdez is quickly in a bind. What a mess they have here going. Runners on first and second, nobody out. You got to figure if this goes on much longer, they're going to have to go out and get the bullpen started. Trailing 3-0, the first pitch on the way from Valdez to Heim is a swing and a miss strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1 lefty-righty matchup. Pitch on the way. Swing! And that ball is hammered down the third base line. Foul. It's 0-2. So an 0-2 count. Pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Just foul tipped it to stay alive, and I don't think he held on. He did not. Or did he? Garver wants to get Garver wants an explanation. He believes the ball hit the ground. We'll take a quick look at it. If he did foul tip it, he did not hold on to the ball. I don't know if he foul tipped it because I'm looking at the replay right now. Yeah, he foul tipped it. That should be a foul tip. But instead they call it a strike, so the Astros get a break there. They trail 3-0. Nathaniel Lowe comes to the plate. Lefty-lefty matchup. Swing and bangs it foul. Do it again. It's 0-2. Rangers 3, Astros nothing. Top of the first inning. The 0-2 pitch on the way, swung on and chopped into left field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Here comes the runner from second around third, and he will score, and it's 4-0 Texas here in the early going in game number 2 of the ALCS. Good piece of hitting. Hit them where they ain't. They were playing them on the shift, and he just shot it to the left side of the infield. The defense was cheating towards the right. So runner on first and second. 1 out. Should be nobody out. The pitch on the way. Down below the knees, not getting the call there. Young, it's 1-0. Young, the third base rookie, put some big power numbers up this year. The 1-0 pitch swung on, bang foul off the plate. It's 1-1. Phil Matan is now warming up in the Astros bullpen. Right-hander getting loose. The 1-1 lefty-righty matchup, swing and bangs that off the plate. It's 1-2. So a 1-2 count. Pitch. Pitch count of Valdez is 19 at this point. The 1-2 delivery in the dirt. Good take by Young. Evens up the count at 2-2. Valdez has given up 4 runs here in the first inning. He's thrown 20 pitches. You wonder how much longer Dusty Baker will go with them. If he can settle down, he knows that Valdez can go quite a ways in a game and put up a lot of zeros, but the 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Went with the curveball down and away, and they're still away. Chase that one in the dirt. So 2 down, and that will bring up the number 9 hitter, Tavares. First pitch on the way is a curveball just off the plate wide. It's 1-0. Letty Tavares, lefty-righty matchup. The 1-0, runner on first and second, in the dirt. Good take by Maldonado. It's 2-0. So a 2-0 count. Rangers lead at 4-0 if you're just joining us. Bit of a bad luck inning from Valdez, and he's left a few over the plate. The 2-0 pitch just outside misses, 94-mile-an-hour fastball. It's 3-0. So you got a full count. He's 1 ball away from walking the bases loaded and would bring Simeon in the top of the order back to the plate. The 3-0 pitch right there at the knees for a strike, taken all the way Tavares, and it's 3-1. Rangers 4, Astros nothing. Top of the first inning. The 3-1 pitch, swing, and fouls it out of play. It's 3-2. Stepping off the mound is Valdez. He's going to walk around and grab the rosin. Tavares took the timeout. It's a full count. Runner on first and second. 2 outs. The pitch on the way. Swing, and that ball's lifted towards center field, going back, drifting towards the warning track, making the catch is McCormick, and that'll end the inning. But not before the Texas Rangers put a 4 spot up. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country Radio's ALCS game number 2.
This portion of the show is being brought to you by Whatever We Have in Stock Are Us, your one-stop place to shop for whatever we happen to have lying around at the time.
Let's go out there. Let's cut the regular season back to 10 games, and you can have some well-placed off weeks. You can have an NIT in between to fill in the blanks, and let's have a 64-team playoff. The champion will play 16 games. And see this guy. I'm not off the mark here. You're off the mark. Everybody else does it this way.
Welcome back. Rangers and Astros, game number 2. First pitch on the way from Nathan Eovaldi to Jose Altuve is outside for a ball. It's 1-0. Goat was asking how many games we're doing. We're going to do the rest of the American League Championship Series and the entire World Series. The 1-0 pitch is swung on and bang foul down the line. It's 1-1. Couldn't get to game 1. Do apologize, but at the time we thought we were going to be off and starting the NLCS on game number 1 and had already made plans on Sunday evening. The 1-1 pitch down and away just misses downstairs. It's 2-1. Yeah, I think everybody's pulling for the Diamondbacks to run over Philadelphia, unless you're a Philadelphia fan. So a 2-1 count. Pitch on the way, swung on, foul back out of play. We'll do it again. Texas 4, Houston nothing. Bottom of the first inning here in Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas. The 2-2 pitch swung on, rifled foul over the first base dugout. We'll do it again. And then we're putting together the football broadcast schedule. That'll begin after the World Series. We'll be doing play-by-play of that. And there are some baseball games, random baseball games we're trying to nail down during the offseason that we're going to try to bring your way. The 2-2 pitch is off the plate wide for a ball, 3-2. So a full count. Pitch on the way. Eovaldi fires. That ball is swung on, hit high, pretty deep into right field, drifting back, making the catch is the right field Adolis Garcia for out number 1. Altuve gave it a ride, but Garcia with plenty of room tracked it down just before the warning track. So 1 down. And that'll bring Bregman to the plate. Alex Bregman digs in the righty-righty matchup. Pitch on the way, swung on, bounced over to third, grabbing it. Youngs has it, fires it over to first. A 5-3 put out, and there's 2 away. Nathan Eovaldi, who struggled down the stretch in the regular season, but man, has he been lights out like he normally is in the postseason. We talked about this in the very beginning of the year when we had our Ranger guy come on, and I told him at the time that I was impressed with a lot of things that Texas did, but going out and getting Eovaldi for a team that wanted to be in the postseason was, to me, I mean, just an absolutely outstanding signing. He's just got that bulldog mentality that you need in the postseason. Kyle Tucker comes to the plate. Tucker, righty-lefty matchup. First pitch on the way, 92. Inside kisses the black. It's 1-1. If you missed the news today, Kim Yang, the executive general manager for the Miami Marlins, as that ball is swung on and that ball is rifled down to first. It's an atom ball. Making the catch is low, and that'll end the inning. 3 up, 3 down. We'll come back and talk about those Marlins and the news afoot on them when we come back here in the American League Championship Series, game number 2.
dinosaurs and everything else, but we haven't found bones that I've heard of Bigfoot.
Welcome back to the American League Championship Series. As we begin the top of the second inning, Texas leads at 4-0. First pitch to Marcus Semien is swung on and rifled into the outfield for a base hit, and the Rangers offense back at it again. Lefty-righty matchup. Lefty-lefty matchup, to Seager. Seager stands in. He's 1-for-1, takes the first pitch up high for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0 right there for a strikeout, 1-1. So a 1-1 count to Seager. Pitch on the way. Right there at the knees for a strike. Seager doesn't like it at all. It's 1-2. Runner on first, nobody out. The 1-2 pitch. Down and away, 2-2. So a 2-2 count. Valdez, who's been sent back out there, is now at 32 pitches on the night. The 2-2 windup. Curveball just misses inside. 3-2. So a 3-2 count. Runner at first, nobody out. Rangers lead at 4-0 already. The pitch on the way. Swung on, bang foul off home plate. Semien was going on the pitch. He'll head back to first, nobody out. The 3-2 pitch. Valdez comes set. Runner was heading towards second, leaning a little bit. Now the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Semien stayed put. Seager's down on strikes, and there's one away. Texas jumped out to 4-0 lead in the top of the first inning. Some of them were hit them where they ain't. There was a defensive error by Valdez. If you're just joining us, a couple of seeing eye singles and a couple of balls that were just well hit as they were left over the plate. Little mix of everything led to the 4-0. First pitch on the way is swung on, grounded over to short by Grossman. Pena's got it, flips it over to Altuve covering second, and it's going to be a 6-4 putout on the play. Grossman will make it down to first for the fielder's choice, but there are 2 away. Framber Valdez's job right now is just to keep this game as close as possible, let his bats get back in it. Getting down 4-0 here in game 2 when you're already down 1-0 is already a rough look. But you can't get it much further than this. First pitch on the way to Alex Garcia, swung on and slapped back against the screen. It's 0-1. Garcia 1-for-1 with the run scored and an RBI. Lefty-righty matchup. Valdez, the southpaw, delivers. Curveball way outside, high and wide. It's 1-1. Grossman, as Braves fans will remember, can be a threat to steal. He'll be trying to time up, see if he can go on that curveball. Not what you would consider a big base stealing threat, but he will pick his spots. The 1-1 pitch. Fouled away for a strike. It's 1-2. So a 1-2 count to Garcia. Garcia came out of his shoes on that swing, trying to put one over the roof. He calls for time, and he'll get it. Home plate umpire Mark Rippinger signals for timeout. Texas 4, Houston nothing. The 1-2 pitch in the dirt. Good block by Maldonado. Now you got Deuces Wild here, top of the second. 2-2 count, 2 outs. Runner at first. Valdez comes set. Kicks and deals. In the dirt, almost gets him. Adolis Garcia bends out of the way, then does like a somersault handspring. Did it get him? I guess it did get him. I thought it missed him. He playfully dropped the bat and then did like a cartwheel almost over the plate. But I guess it must have gotten him. So he'll head down to first. Gets bailed out by the hit by pitching. Got runners at first and second. 2 outs. Pitch on the way. Just below the knees to Garver. Called for a low strike. It's 0-1. Good to see Underwater in the chat. Congratulations once again, Underwater, on your finish in the Hartford Marathon. The 0-1 pitch. Swung on, rifled down the left field line. Just foul. I mean, just foul. Maybe a foot at the most. Mitch Garver 1 for 1 with an RBI in the first. Texas leads at 4-0. Top of the second, 2 outs. The 0-2 count. Valdez comes set. Steps off the mound. Framber Valdez trying to buy some time. He's already thrown 43 pitches. In danger of getting knocked out of this one. Matona's working up in the bullpen once again. The 0-2 from Valdez. Pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. And that'll end the inning. So the Rangers threat but fail to score. We'll be back in a flash. American League Championship Series game number 2. Welcome back. First pitch to Yordan Alvarez is down for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0 pitch swung on, fouled back out of play. It's 1-1. So a 1-1 count to Alvarez. Eovaldi, who went 3 up, 3 down versus the Astros in the bottom of the first, comes set. The pitch on the way. Down and away, 2-1. Yordan Alvarez, dangerous hitter here in this postseason, is hitting .350 with 4 home runs. The 2-1 to Yordan. Swing, and that ball is blasted. Speak of the devil, it is gone. A solo blast into the cheap seats here at Minute Maid Park, and the Astros are on the board. It's 4-1. He absolutely planted that one. The only thing that Eovaldi can take solace in is A, no one was injured on that play because that ball was absolutely just scorched. And B, there was nobody on, so it's still a 3-run lead for Texas. 4-1 your score, bottom of the second inning. Alvarez getting the high fives throughout the dugout. The first pitch on the way from Eovaldi to Abreu is a curveball right there at the knees for a strike. It's 0-1. Righty-righty matchup. Jose Abreu, the 0-1 pitch swung on, grounded over to third. Young's got it, fires it across the diamond. 5-3 put out, and there's one away. That was an absolute missile. 95-mile-an-hour fastball. He planted that into the seats about 430 feet. That thing might still be traveling. That'll bring Michael Brantley to the plate. Michael Brantley takes the first pitch outside for a strike, 96 miles an hour. Might have been a touch outside. It's 0-1. Yordan Alvarez's 5th home run of the year, of the postseason, excuse me. The 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Pulled the string on that one. It's 0-2. So an 0-2 count. Eovaldi comes set, 19 pitches into the night. The pitch on the way. Caught, looking, strike 3. He dropped a splitter on the inside corner, just grabbing the edge. And there's 2 away. So 2 down. Rangers lead at 4-1 here in the bottom of the second inning. The first pitch on the way to McCormick is swung on and fouled off the plate. It's 0-1. The 0-1, Eovaldi kicks and deals, swung on, grounded just past the third base line. It's fair. Young fires it over to first, and it's a 5-3 put out. An absolute rifle by Young to end the inning. But not before the Houston Astros put one on the board. We will be back in a flash here. American League Championship Series, game number 1. Texas leads it 4-0. Welcome back. Apologize for the delay. Having a heck of a time with my feed. I'm trying to get it straightened out. It's an 0-1 count from Framber Valdez. Pitch on the way, swung on, foul back out of play. Heim at the plate. It's 0-2. Texas 4, Houston nothing. Top of the third inning. The 0-2 pitch on the way. Curveball down and in. 1-2. So a 1-2 count. Pitch on the way to Heim is swung on, belted high and deep into left field. Is it gone? It is gone. Solo shot, and Texas gets that run right back. Jonah Heim blasts one into the night, and it's 5-1 Rangers. That was a hanging curveball, and he did not miss it one bit. Texas 5, Houston 1, top of the third inning. Texas leads this series already 1-0. And remember, the next 3 are back in Texas. So Houston desperately needing this victory. First pitch on the way to Nathaniel Lowe is down and away for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0 pitch from Valdez, kicks and deals inside, almost gets him. 2-0. So Framber Valdez is sitting at 50 pitches. You wonder how much longer they'll go with him out there. He does not have it today. Normally a very good postseason pitcher, but he has been all over the place. The 2-0 pitch, right there at the knees, called for a strike. Low taken all the way. It's 2-1. The 2-1 pitch, swung on, bang foul towards the first base dugout. We'll do it again at 2-2. So a 2-2 count. Pitch on the way, swung on, slice foul. You got a 2-2 count to Low. Nobody out here on the top of the third inning. Already 1 in. The 2-2 pitch is swung on and banged foul off the plate. We'll do it again. Rangers 5, Astros 1, top of the third inning. The 2-2. Rocks, kicks and deals. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him with the curveball just below the knees. So 1 down, and Josh Young comes to the plate. Josh Young takes a swing at the first pitch and comes out of his shoes on that one. It's 0-1. Montero is now working in the Astros bullpen. Josh Young 0 for 1 with the strikeout. The 0-1 pitch on the way, down and in for a ball. It's 1-1. Houston leads 5-1. Nobody on, 1 out. Just in the top of the third inning, so a long way to go for Houston to climb back in this one. The 1-1 pitch is swung on and banged foul. Change up on the outer edge. It's 1-2. It's a really odd thing that they're doing, by the way, with Fox interviewing guys in the dugout in the middle of the game. Very strange. The 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Chase a curveball in the dirt. There's 2 away. Maybe I'm too old school, but I don't like that at one bit. I mean, let these guys play. If you want to interview someone, interview a coach in between innings, but going over to the dugout and talking to a guy is just, it's really weird. First pitch on the way to Tavares is inside for a ball. It's 1-0. I know Ken Rosenthal doesn't have a clue what that's about because I'm sure he never actually swung a bat, but that is just a strange thing, especially to be interviewing the catcher who's got to start putting on his gear. 1-0 count, misses down and in. It's 2-0. So a 2-0 count. Pitch on the way from Valdez. Swing and a miss on the outside. It's 2-1. Sinker on the edge. I don't know what y'all's take on that is, but I don't like the idea of them interviewing players in the middle of the game. I know it doesn't realistically matter, but it just feels like you're taking them away from the team. Seems like it's a disaster waiting to happen. The 2-1 pitch. Down below, 3-1. Regular season game, I don't have as big of a problem with it, but during the postseason, just seems odd to pull someone away. The 3-1 count from Valdez, down and away, ball 4. So Tavares will go on down to first base. Dusty Baker's coming out to talk to Valdez, and that might be it for him. He is at 64 pitches here in 2 2/3 inning, and that's exactly what's going to go down. We'll be back in a flash. American League Championship Series, game number 1. And the Astros are on the ropes. Or game number 2, excuse me. Astros are on the ropes, down 1-0.
At the tone, leave your name and message. I'll get back to you.
This is Shirley from the bank. The answers are no, no, and yes. No, we won't loan you money. No, we won't accept any cosigners. And yes, your account's overdrawn. I get off at 4:30.
Welcome back. Pitching change as Montero comes on. The right-hander quickly fires it over to first to keep the runner close by. You got runner at first, 2 outs. (5-1) your score. The pitch on the way. Off the plate wide for a ball. It's 1-0. Montero coming in. They need to keep them right where they're at. They lose this game, they would have to win a minimum of 2 in Texas, stay alive. The pitch on the way, the runner's going, fires it down to second. Maldonado's throw is just a touch late. Dusty wants to hold up a second. He may challenge this. That was a close call, very close call. From the blind eye, it looked like he might have got in there just ahead of time, but not by much. Looking at the replay, yeah, I think he just got in. I mean, barely. If you see it from a distance, you're thinking maybe not, but the 1-1 pitch on the way is down and away for a ball. It's 2-1. So a 2-1 count. Big spot here for Montero and the Astros. Trying to keep it a 4-run game. The 2-1 pitch right there at the knees, 90-mile-an-hour sinker. Called for a strike. It's 2-2. Deuces wild. 2-2 count. 2 outs. Montero comes set. Looks back. Tavares at second. Pitch on the way. 95-mile-an-hour swing and a miss. Strike 3. And that'll end the inning. But not before they tack on one more. The Astros trailing 5-1. They'll grab the bats heading to the bottom of the third. Hey, sports fans. The Key has a brand new show. Braves Country is coming your way weekdays 3 p.m. Eastern to 5 p.m. Eastern. Drive time on WQEE. Braves Country is a Southern sports talk show with Mac Magee and the Armchair quarterbacks. We'll be talking the Atlanta Braves and Major League Baseball, along with everything important to sports fans in Braves Country. The SEC, ACC, Big Ten, and the National Football League, and the big sports news of the day. That's Braves Country with Mac Magee and the Armchair quarterbacks. Weekdays, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. right here on WQEE, The Key, 99.1 FM, and simulcasting on youtube.com/@Braves Country.
40 games at $50 a piece? That's like $2,000.
Per seat.
Per seat? How many seats did you buy?
1, and the one next to it.
That's $4,000.
Unless they get in the playoffs, because for some reason playoff tickets are more money than regular seats. They'll never make. What am I talking about? They're a lousy team this year.
You spent $4,000 on a lousy team?
Come on, let me explain something to you about basketball. You cannot get season tickets like this with a good team. You got to ride out the bad years, hoping for a good one.
That's what you said 17 years ago when I married you, and I'm still waiting for a good one.
Welcome back. You're just joining us, Texas has jumped out to an early 5-1 lead. Dusty Baker's boys are in trouble. They'll grab the bats here in the bottom of the third. Jeremy Pena steps up to the plate, takes a swing and a miss at the first strike. It's 0-1. Chase one a little bit down and away. The 0-1 to Pena. Off the plate wide, 1-1. Nathan Eovaldi, just 24 pitches into the game here in the bottom of the third. Starts off Pena with the cutter on the outer edge. The 1-1 pitch. Down and in. Splitter misses inside. It's 2-1. So a 2-1 count. You're just getting off. Welcome into just getting off work. Welcome into American League Championship Series game number 2. The 2-1 pitch swung on. That ball is sliced just foul down the right field line. Evens up the count at 2-2. Rangers scored 4 runs in the first inning. Houston answered back with a solo blast by Yordan Alvarez. Jonah Heim answered him back, and that's where we stand at 5-1. The first inning, Texas put 4 runs up on the board pretty much before you could blink. It was a dink and a dunk and an error by the pitcher. The next thing you know, it was 4-0. The 2-2 pitch. What in the world? Where did that miss? Eovaldi is ticked off, and I don't blame him. That pitch was on the outer edge. Should have been called a strike. You can see it on your screen. Blown call by home plate umpire Mark Rippinger, and it's a full count. So a full count. Eovaldi comes set. Pitch on the way. Swung on. Lifted high. Deep into right field. Coming in, making the catch is Garcia just before the warning track for a long, loud out number 1. Eovaldi was out of his mind with that call. You're not sure what he said, but you had the gist of what he said when he got the ball back from his hind catcher. He snapped the glove back down towards and looked down at the ground and said some explicitives. First pitch on the way to Maldonado is right there for a strike. It's 0-1. Texas 5, Houston 1, bottom 3. The 0-1 pitch just misses down and away. 1-1. So he's starting off four-seam with Maldonado, light hitting hind catcher. Still one of the better defensive catchers in baseball. The 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him to swing over the cutter, and it's 1-2. Maldonado batting 154 in the postseason. Doesn't hit a whole heck of a lot higher during the regular season. The 1-2 pitch on the way. Eovaldi, swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him on a pitch on the outer edge, and there's 2 away. In the regular season, to give you an idea of Maldonado, who is 37 years old now, Maldonado hit 191 in the regular season with 15 home runs. His career postseason is 173. So nothing else, he's consistent. First pitch on the way to Altuve is swung on, grounded over to third. That's going to be an easy put out, and that'll end the inning. 3 up, 3 down. We'll be back in a flash. Texas leads this one. They'll grab the bats when we come back.
Let me see if I can cut to the chase by using myself as an example. 6 months ago, I was living in Boston. My wife had left me, which was very painful. Then she came back to me, which was excruciating.
You can take your apology out of your trophy and shove it straight up.
Armchair.
Community Access Channel.
Welcome back. Five to 1 your score. Texas Rangers all over Houston early on. We're heading back to the top of the fourth inning. Rangers 5 runs, 7 hits. Houston just the one hit, the home run by Yordan Alvarez. They have 2 errors. If you're just joining us, Framber Valdez already knocked out of the game. 2 2/3 innings, 7 hits, 5 runs, 4 of them earned, 1 walk and 6 strikeouts, a home run allowed. First pitch on the way from Montero to Seager is outside wide for a ball. It's 1-0. Corey Seager 1 for 2 with a single his first time up. The 1-0 pitch. Swing, and that ball's lifted into center field. Diving catch by McCormick, tumbling to the ground and rolling over. He got a salute from Mr. Montero on the mound, and there's one away. Nice play. Something else to be added to that. The sun is still peeking through the windows here at Minute Maid Park, and that played into the difficulty as it looked like might have gotten right into his eyes right there at the end. Good concentration. 1 away. First pitch on the way from Montero to Carter. Evan Carter, who's coming into the game. He will pinch hit for Grossman. He's outside wide for a ball. It's 1-0. Evan Carter takes a hack at the 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Outside, it's 1-1. It's excited to see Evan Carter. I've heard a lot about him. Came up late in the season. Haven't seen a lot of Ranger games, but he has been on fire and is hitting .389 in the postseason. The 1-1 just misses outside. It's 2-1. So a 2-1 count. Nobody on, 1 down. Top of the fourth inning. Pitch on the way. Swung on, lifted high into left field. Camping underneath it. Making the catch is Brantley, and there's 2 away. Carter will stay in to play left field. He's just 21 years old. Drafted in the second round out of Elizabethton, Tennessee. In the 2020 Major League Baseball amateur draft. First pitch on the way to Garcia is fouled back out of play. It's 0-1. The 0-1 to Adolis Garcia, righty-righty matchup. Lets her fly, swung on, popped it back, fouled again. It's 0-2. Give you an idea of why Evan Carter has been such a big story. In the 62 at-bats in the regular season, He hit 306, 5 home runs, 12 RBI, 3 stolen bases, a 1058 OPS. In the postseason, it's even more impressive. 18 at bats as the 0-2 pitch misses up high, 1-2. In 18 at bats in the postseason, 389 average with 1 home run, 3 RBI, stolen base, and a 1338 OPS. The 1-2 to Garcia. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Montero retires the side in order. Houston will grab the bats when we come back, trailing by 4.
Do you have any idea how much pollution a bus causes?
I don't know. 3?
3? 3 what?
Pollutions?
I'm not a scientist. I get it. We're not taking the bus, though, because buses are wasteful and, more importantly, disgusting. You're just all crammed on there with a bunch of mongrels breathing directly into your mouth. There's no room. No.
Welcome back in. Good to see Rob in here. Good evening to all. Texas Rangers lead this one 5-1. They lead the series. One game to nothing. And if they get this win here, it's going to make for a very tall task. Heading back to Arlington, off tomorrow, and then we'll have the pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play Wednesday night here at 8 o'clock. And you're talking about you go down 2-0 going on the road for the next 3. You're just hoping you get back home with the series still alive. Eovaldi goes back to work. The first pitch on the way to Bregman is down and in for a strike. It's 0-1. Still a long way to go in this one. The 0-1 pitch. Righty-righty matchup. Pitch on the way. Down the pipe for a strike. It's 0-2. I know Fox is under the impression this is a great look of the camera behind home plate. I cannot stand it. It is awful. The 0-2 pitch is down and in for a ball, skips away. It's 1-2. I mean, it is absolutely awful. All you're seeing is the ball come in and then an umpire's hand come up. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and fouls it away. We'll do it again at 1-2. Bregman, Tucker, and Alvarez do it. Of course, Alvarez, the only base hit for the Astros, a solo blast. The 1-2 pitch. I don't mind the view from behind home plate if you're showing a replay. The 1-2 pitch swung on, and that ball is belted down the left field line, and that ball is gone. So 2 home runs by the Texas Rangers, and it's now 5-2. Astros slowly climbing back into it. Solo shot by Bregman, solo shot by Alvarez. Other than that, not a lot going on for the Astros going the right way early on, but you're hanging around in there and still a long way to go. Got way too much of the plate. If you're listening on the radio and you didn't see it, just think of just about every pitch that Bryce Elder threw in the postseason. That's about where that ball was. First pitch on the way to Tucker, swung on. He reached for that one, pops it up, can of corn. Fading back, making the catch is Young on the infield dirt towards the left field grass, and there's one away. So 5-2 your score. Bottom of the 4th inning. Alvarez comes to the plate. First pitch, taken right there at the knees for a strike. It's 0-1. Alvarez hit a monster blast his first time up. The 0-1 pitch. Sinker down and in. It's 1-1. He's gone curveball, sinker to start it off. Righty-lefty matchup. The 1-1 from Eovaldi. Kicks and deals. In the dirt, 2-1. That pitch was nowhere near home plate. Call it about a 55-footer. So a 2-1 count. It always amazes me when someone gets Alvarez out. To me, he's the most complete hitter in baseball. The 2-1 swung on, fouled straight back. It's 2-2. Such a big guy with a compact swing and a lot of power. Not a lot of holes in that swing. The 2-2 from Eovaldi, rocks and fires. Caught, looking, strike 3. That bender just froze Alvarado on the edge, and there's 2 away. Not sure if Alvarado was displeased with himself or the call, but he had a scowl on his face. We'll put it this way. That pitch is too close to take with 2 strikes. Looked like a strike. So 2 down. Bottom of the 4th. That'll bring Abreu to the plate. Abreu takes the first pitch outside, 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Just misses off the black. It's 1-0. The 1-0 pitch just misses outside, 2-0. So a 2-0 count. Abreu, who's 0 for 1, hit a home run, big home run in the series against the Twins. 2-0 pitch, floats one in there. Curveball, about belt high, taken all the way by Abreu. It's 2-1. He's probably glad Abreu didn't swing at that one. That thing was tailor-made. The 2-1 pitch from Eovaldi, just below the knees, called for a low strike. It's 2-2. Good splitter there. Got the benefit of the call down low. So a 2-2 count to Abreu, bottom of the 4th inning. 2 outs. Nobody on. 5-2 your score. Texas leads. Eovaldi comes set. Kicks and deals. Swing and fouls it back 96-mile-an-hour. Top shelf just got a piece of it to stay alive. We'll do it again. The 2-2 count. Eovaldi comes set. The pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Got him to chase one on the outer edge, and that'll end the inning. But not before the Astros put another run on the board. It's 5-2 Texas. We'll head to the fifth.
Would you knock me down a flight of stairs for $4 million?
I'd do it for a $5 scratch off and a bag of Doritos.
Cause he's the armchair quarterback. He's full of beer and he's full of snacks. Well, the season's finally here.
The Armchair Quarterbacks are back. Saturdays, 10 a.m., you'll be tailgating with the Armchair Quarterbacks. Mac Magee, Joey and Tones, and the rest of the Armchair Quarterbacks. Live, 10 a.m., Saturdays this fall. Talking college football, SEC, ACC, Big Ten, the NFL, fantasy football advice, and our picks against the spread. Right here on Braves Country HD, 99.1 FM, WQEE.
Yeah, the armchair quarterback.
First thing about it, and this seems so obvious that maybe we overlook it, baseball is a beautiful thing. It's more beautiful in an old park that's asymmetrical and quirky, but even, and I hate to say this because it might encourage them, but even in a dome with artificial turf, it's beautiful. The way the field fans out, the choreography of the sport, the pace and rhythm of it, the fact that that pace and rhythm allows for conversation and reflection and opinion and comparison.
It's a pastime, something you do. It's entertainment, something you watch. And it's a shared experience, something you talk about and read about. And that's marvelous. But you can apply those same three criteria to other things. What makes baseball special is that it's the best game ever been devised.
Welcome back. Five to 2 your score. Texas will grab the bats. They're up by 3 here that head to the top of the fifth inning. A 1-1 count to Mitch Garver. Righty-righty matchup. JP Francis came into the game. Pitch on the way, swung on, popped up high. Can of corn, making the catch over is Bregman, and there's one away. Do apologize coming back about a pitch late. That was my local feed here locally. They just came back from their commercial breaks. I did not see the first pitch. So JP France will now face Jonah Heim, who's 1 for 2 with a homer. First pitch on the way to Jonah is up high, down low for a ball. Excuse me. It's 1-0. Righty lefty matchup. France comes set. Rocks, fires, the pitch on the way. Outside wide, 2-0. So a 2-0 count. Texas leads 5-2, 1 out, top of the fifth inning. Game 2 of the ALCS. Game 3 is Wednesday night at 8 p.m. The 2-0 pitch, outside corner for a strike. It's 2-1. We'll have pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play of the American League Championship Series the rest of the way, and then every single game, every inning of the World Series. The 2-1 pitch, swing, and bangs it foul down the line. It's 2-2. National League Championship Series gets started tonight. believe it's about 8:15, somewhere in that neighborhood, that they'll get going. A little after 8 o'clock in Philadelphia, Phillies versus Diamondbacks. It'll be Zach Gallen versus Zach Wheeler. Should be a pretty good pitching matchup. The 2-2 pitch. Swung on, bang foul off the plate. We'll do it again. It's 2-2. So a 2-2 count from France. Framber Valdez, if you're just joining us, got ran from the game early. 2 2/3 innings, gave up 5 runs, 4 of them earned. The 2-2, down and away, 3-2. I've always found it odd when your unearned run is not charged to you, except it was the pitcher's error that caused it. Always found that odd because I feel like that should still be charged to the pitcher. The 3-2 pitch on the way. Swing! And that ball's lifted high into right field, drifting back, fighting the sun. Making the catch is Kyle Tucker at the wall. And there's 2 away. The Texas Rangers, who have yet to lose in the postseason. Remember, they swept the Tampa Bay Rays in the first round, 2-0 in Tampa. Swept Baltimore, 2 in Baltimore, 1 in Texas. And they've won the first game of this series. First pitch on the way from France to Lowe is right there for a strike, hanging curveball. It's 0-1. Nathaniel Lowe, single in the first. Righty-lefty matchup. The pitch on the way. Inside, misses. 1-1. So a 1-1 count. France comes set. Winds, kicks, and deals. In the dirt. Good take by Lowe. It's 2-1. Standing on deck is Josh Young. In the hole is Tavares if the Rangers were to keep it going. The 2-1 pitch to Lowe. Pitch on the way, swung on, lifted high and deep into center field, going back, making the catch, running and hitting the wall is McCormick, and that'll end the inning. 3 up, 3 down. He gave it a ride, but no dice. When we come back, the Astros will grab the bats and try to dig into this 5-2 lead.
It measures just 9 inches in circumference, weighs only about 5 ounces, and is made of cork wound with woolen yarn, covered with 2 layers of cowhide, and stitched by hand precisely 216 times. It travels 60 feet 6 inches from the pitcher's mound to home, and it can cover that distance at nearly 100 miles an hour. Along the way, it can be made to twist, spin, curve, wobble, rise, or fall away. The bat is made of turned ash, less than 42 inches long, not more than 2 3/4 inches in diameter. The batter has only a few thousandths of a second to decide to hit the ball. And yet the men who fail 7 times out of 10 are considered the game's greatest heroes.
If there's anything I could change about the league to make it better, probably just all the guys sitting resting. That's the only thing I probably don't like. Just play, man. If you 80%, you got to play. I don't like all the sitting, missing games and stuff. Like these people might have enough money to come to one game. You know what I'm saying? And that might be the game they come to, and then you sitting out. You know what I'm saying? So I take pride in trying to play every game because
Welcome back. P-Dub says the Astros are going to win it all. Well, they better get to winning because they're down 5-2. Game number 2. They're down 1-0. And if this game heads back to Texas with the score as it is, it'll be 2-0 Rangers needing to win 2 of 3 at home to end the series. Texas has yet to lose in these playoffs. Bruce Bochy doing a masterful job once again in the postseason. Of course, Bochy won the 3 World Series titles with the San Francisco Giants. He seems to have a little bit of magic going right now in Arlington. Nathan Eovaldi will go back out to the mound. Looks like there's another pitch com problem. That has got to be one of the first things they talk about and get fixed in the Major League Baseball offseason. They go to these winter meetings in Nashville this year, the second week of December. Somebody has got to come up with some kind of fix for this pitch com, because you don't go a game without seeing the issue pop up normally. You're almost in shock when the pitch com is working. I know we've joked about it before, but I'm starting to think Major League Baseball got all their pitch com stuff off of Wish. So Eovaldi's got it working now. We'll go back to work. The first pitch on the way is a curveball right there at the knees. Called for a ball, I guess. It looked like it hit the spot. It's 1-0. Michael Brantley 0 for 1 with the strikeout in the second. The 1-0 pitch swung on, tapped foul off his instep. Righty-lefty matchup, it's 1-1. I mean, seriously, multi-billion-dollar industry in these pitch com things that you see them pull out of their ball cap, and I've seen them up close. Is the 1-1 pitch is a swing and a miss strike, curveball down below the ankles. It's 1-2, and they look like a cheap, smaller version of a Fire Stick. Almost like a device that you would see inside of a fake jack-o'-lantern that you got at the Dollar Tree. The 1-2 pitch misses outside, 2-2. And it's no wonder that they don't make it, because, man, these guys get to sweating and it's inside their bill. The 2-2 pitch from Eovaldi, down and in, ball 3. So Eovaldi, who's given up the 2 home runs, but other than that, not much else. Right now, those are the only 2 base runners for the Astros, but he's got a full count to start the bottom of the 5th. Brantley digs in, the pitch on the way, swung on, taps it foul down the first base line. We'll do it again. Brantley, the number 6 hitter. It's Brantley, McCormick, and Pena due up. Maldonado, if anybody gets on. And after that, the lineup would flip over. The 3-2 pitch from Eovaldi. Swing, and that ball's rifled into left field. It's going to get down for a base hit. Brantley gets things going here in the bottom of the 5th. 1 on, nobody out. You do wonder what their game plan would be. My guess would be, if he shows any struggles, Eovaldi would come out after he goes through the lineup this last time. Like a lot of pitchers, Eovaldi, his numbers third time through the lineup, not nearly as good. And, of course, the bullpen is well rested. First pitch on the way from Eovaldi to McCormick. Drifts inside, almost gets him. Misses for a ball. It's 1-0. Threw the curveball, and that ball didn't curve towards the outer part of the plate. It curved in and almost hit McCormick. The 1-0 from Eovaldi. Pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. It's 1-1. So a 1-1 count. Runner on first. Nobody out. Rangers playing the infield to shift. The pitch on the way. Swung on. Rifle back up the middle. That'll head out to center field. The Astros got runners on first and second. Nobody out. Jeremy Pena coming to the plate. The tying run. Mike Maddox, the pitching coach, will head out there to talk to Eovaldi. Try to simmer him down for a second. Pena, the number 8 hitter, Maldonado falling behind him. And after that, doesn't get any easier. You'll have Altuve, Bregman, Tucker, Alvarez. You got to figure Maddox is telling him to get a little aggressive. Because he can't keep putting ducks on the pond. Home plate umpire Mark Rippinger comes out there to chase away Maddox and everybody else back to their respective positions. Jeremy Pena, remember last postseason, he was one of the heroes. See if he's got something left in him for this postseason as well. 60 pitches into the night. The first pitch on the way. 92-mile-an-hour fastball off the edge. It's 0-1. Pena flew out in the third his only time up, hitting .263 in this postseason. Runner at first and second, nobody out. The 1-0 pitch, swung on, grounded over to third, and Josh Young boots it. The rookie just whiffed at the ball, and you'll have an infield single, and the bases are juiced with Maldonado due up. You wonder if Dusty Baker will pinch hit here. Just a bad defensive play by Young. Really no more for his bat, but pretty basic play for third base. Just a poor job of trying to scoop it. His only real play would have been to first, so he wasn't necessarily forcing the issue. Just trying to get a clean play and go to first. So bases loaded, and they will pinch hit. Yandy Diaz will come to the plate. Yandy Diaz, 25-year-old. This year had 23 home runs, 60 RBI, and 846 OPS. So a big spot here. Bochy looks like he's going to try to roll the dice and keep Eovaldi out there. Bases loaded, nobody out. Nowhere to put Diaz. And Altuve standing on deck. The first pitch on the way. Curveball down and away. Might have been the cutter. It's 1-0. Heaney is warming up in the bullpen. The left-hander, think he was being summoned to face probably Tucker and Alvarez. The 1-0 pitch. Swung on, rifled, foul back out of play. It's 1-1. Eovaldi only at 64 pitches. That's not the issue. The issue, he's put the bases full of Astros, and a 3-run lead. One swing could change this in a hurry. The 1-1. Down and away, 2-1. Good block by Heim. Pitch bounced out in front of him, but didn't get away. So a 2-1 count. Bases loaded. Nobody out. Eovaldi looks in. The pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. 2-2. Got him with the heater outside. Might have been his cutter. 93 miles an hour on the outer edge. The 2-2. Eovaldi looks in and kicks and deals. Swing, and that ball's rifled foul down the line. We'll do it again at 2-2. Standing room only here in Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas. The 2-2 pitch. Eovaldi looks in, lets her go. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him to chase the bender on the outer edge, and there's one away. Man, oh man alive, was that a heck of a pitch. Diaz was kind of in no man's land. The pitch started about middle of the plate and dove away. With 2 strikes, that's a hard one to lay off. So that'll bring Jose Altuve to the plate with still only 1 out. First pitch on the way is a curveball, top of the zone, top shelf corner, inside for a strike. It's 0-1. Jose Altuve's 0 for 2. Of course, we all know his playoff experience, 7 grand slams. The 0-1 pitch. Swing and fouls that straight back. It's 0-2. Rangers 5, Astros 2. Bottom of the 5th. Eovaldi on the ropes here, trying to find a way to work his way through this lineup. Bregman on deck, who hit a home run his last time up. The 0-2 pitch. Eovaldi lets her go. Fastball high and out of the zone. 1-2. When you miss that high with Altuve, not much of a chance he's swinging for it because that thing was up past his eyebrows. The 1-2 to Altuve. Eovaldi lets her go. Swing and a miss, strike 3. He pulled the string on that one. Good pitch. Splitter down in the zone, and there's 2 away. 2 big strikeouts by Nathan Eovaldi. Bases were loaded with nobody out. Now he's got bases loaded, 2 outs. He is not out of the woods yet. Bregman is coming to the plate, and he has already taken him deep. First pitch on the way, 95 inside, busts him back. It's 1-0. Texas 5, Houston 2, bases loaded, 2 outs, bottom of the 5th inning. The 1-0 to Bregman. Righty-righty matchup, pitch on the way, swung on, grounded over to third. Young has this one. He'll fire it over to first, and it's a 5-3 put out, and Nathan Eovaldi is pumping his fists, pointing to the dugout. We'll be back in a flash. Texas grabs the bats after dodging a big bullet.
It is played everywhere. In parks and playgrounds and prison yards, in back alleys and farmers' fields, by small boys and old men, raw amateurs and millionaire professionals. It is a leisurely game that demands blinding speed. The only game in which the defense has the ball. It follows the seasons, beginning each year with the fond expectancy of springtime and ending with the hard facts of autumn. Americans have played baseball for more than 200 years. While they conquered a continent, warred with one another and with enemies abroad, struggled over labor and civil rights and the meaning of freedom.
Well, the season's finally here.
The Armchair Quarterbacks are back. Saturdays, 10 a.m., you'll be tailgating with the Armchair Quarterbacks. Mac Magee, Joey and Tones, and the rest of the Armchair Quarterbacks live, 10 a.m., Saturdays this fall. Talking college football, SEC, ACC, Big Ten, the NFL, fantasy football advice, and our picks against the spread. Right here on Braves Country HD, 99.1 FM, WQEE.
Yeah, the Armchair.
The decision to have the kids earn their jersey numbers,
Yeah.
is there a story behind that, and what are you hoping that creates?
I'm old school. Anybody here over 45? Didn't we have to earn every darn thing we got? Ain't nobody gave us nothing. So this whole new thing, first of all, we got this new thing now in college football about double numbers. We didn't have, if somebody gave you a double number in college, that assured that you weren't gonna play. That's how it was, wasn't it? Now it's like normal. You gotta earn stuff. Ain't nobody giving you nothing. We got kids, they ain't played a snap, and you want to be one? You know what number one meant back in the day for us? That you were that one. Now you got number one getting the frame tore out of him out there on the field. Like, come on, you got to be crazy.
Armchair.
Welcome back. Thanks to everybody who has voted. Looks like the consensus is most are pulling for the Rangers. Whoever you're pulling for, please smash that like button. I don't know if I necessarily have a rooting interest in this one. I want to see these very good rosters go at it. First pitch on the way to Josh Young is right there for a strike on the outer edge. It's 0-1. Righty-righty matchup. The 0-1 pitch. Down and away. 1-1. JP France back out there. Try to eat a few innings. This isn't really a spot, though, that you can get anything other than aggressive with your bullpen, because you can't allow yourself to get much further behind as the 1-1 pitch is swung on, foul, back out of play. It's 1-2. Trailing by 3, still a lot of time left in this game, but you don't want Texas to tack on anymore and make it really difficult to come back. The 1-2 pitch swung on, lifted into center field, making the catch, center fielder McCormick, and there's one away. Most likely that is it for Nathan Eovaldi. He went 5 innings, 2 earned runs, and 6 strikeouts. We'll see if they'll send him back out there, but they had the left-handed Heaney warming up in the bullpen, considering that Tucker and Alvarez, the 2 big left-handed bats, are due up in the next inning to start it off. Can't imagine he'll be back out there. First pitch on the way to Tavares is up high for a ball. It's 1-0. Tavares, 318 average here in this postseason. Righty-lefty matchup, the 1-0 pitch. Right inside for, I guess, an inside strike. It's 1-1. Looked at touch inside, got the benefit of the call. The 1-1. Down and in, misses, 2-1. So a 2-1 count. Pitch on the way, swing, and fouls it out of play. 2-2. Back to the Miami Marlins. Their general manager, Kim Yang, the Marlins went to pick up her option for this year, and she declined. It was a mutual option. She became the first female executive to be running a baseball team. And from what I'm hearing, haven't gotten this verified, is the pitch on the way, swung on. That ball's roasted into the gap, getting down, making it extra bases. And Tavares is going to be standing on third with the 1-out triple. So a big triple there by Tavares, gets all the way triple to the right center field wall. Ball bounced around with his blazing speed. He easily cruises in to third with 1 away. So from what I'm hearing, she turned down the option, the mutual option. She's looked upon as one of the better up and coming executives in Major League Baseball. And they were planning on, let me read this to you, how it was presented to me. As the first pitch was fouled off the bat of Semien, it's 0-1. Righty-righty matchup, Marcus Semien. The 0-1 pitch swung on. That ball is laced to third. An atom ball. Bregman stands on third, and just like that, Tavares runs the Rangers out of the inning. And L5, if you're scoring at home, we'll be back in a flash here in game number 2 of the ALCS.
It's the game my father taught me how to play. It's time I saw things on a level plane. Something was rolling towards me, and it said Spalding on it. I picked it up. Instinctually, we push it back. And those days, those summer days became fall days, became our Sundays together with my brothers and I, and my dad whipping off his wicked curve. I just remember how my hands hurt. At first, as I was afraid of the ball, and his coaching, keep your shoulder in there. Don't bail out. It's not going to hurt you, and that's what I remember.
When you were my age, did you ever have trouble deciding what you wanted to do with your life?
No, I've never had that problem, really. Why?
Forget it. I didn't think you'd understand.
You take drugs, Danny?
Every day.
Good. So what's the problem?
I don't know.
Welcome back. Thanks, Underwater. Yeah, I just saw the question, Kerry. I apologize. We are not doing the NLCS. We're doing the ALCS. We are doing the World Series. I can only do one or the other. And it was kind of voted on by the stations that are carrying this. That they wanted the Texas Houston series. So that's kind of how that came about. And honestly, I didn't have a lot of pushback because I really wanted to watch this series anyways. So we will do every game of this series that is left. We missed game 1 because had already made plans on Sunday night. If you remember, the NLCS had the Braves made it there, or if that would have been the series we were going to carry, the National League was off last night, so that's how that came about. But we picked up today's game, and we'll be doing the rest of the series along with the World Series, and of course, we'll also be doing football games, but that we're going to wait till the end of October for that. We'll wait till the World Series subsides, and we'll be doing. The plan right now is to bring football games. I believe most of the Monday and Thursday night games. I believe that's how it's going to play out. And then, of course, a handful of others. Something else that we do every year, a lot of folks may not be aware of. We bring you the Army-Navy game every single year. That has been a tradition. Actually, one of the first games we ever did. And that's been a tradition here. So it was the first football game that we ever did. So we will be bringing that to you as well. But majority will be NFL contests. First pitch on the way from Eovaldi. He is back out there. That really surprises me. I know he's only at 75 pitches. Down and in for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0 to Tucker. Righty-lefty matchup. Swung on. Bang, foul down the line. 1-1. It's one thing that I do love about watching Bochy manage. He is old school. He goes with his gut feeling. He does not go by analytics. And I'm so used to watching these teams that strictly go off of analytics. It's kind of refreshing to watch Bochy manage. The 1-1 pitch swung on, foul back out of play. It's 1-2. Yeah, Underwater, we do the Army-Navy game every single year. When it started and we did it on a whim, we didn't know what kind of reaction we would get. We got a lot of folks from overseas that were serving our country that were tuning in and letting us know that it was the only way that they could consume the game. Is the 1-2 pitches in the dirt, swing and a miss, and there's one away. That'll bring Yordan Alvarez to the plate, righty-lefty matchup. And anyways, they told us that was the only way they could consume the game. And when I found that out, we made it a point that, I mean, it's the very least that we can do to give back to those that give all. First pitch on the way to Alvarez is inside for a ball. It's 1-0. It's by far my favorite game of the year to do because you just get so many men and women that are serving or have served that get into the spirit of the game. The 1-0 down and away for a ball. It's 2-0. So a 2-0 count. Righty-lefty matchup. Eovaldi raises his red glove and lets her go. Right there at the knees, probably a touch below. Alvarez does not like it. Called for a strike. It's 2-1. Can't say I blame him. No matter what it shows there on your screen, that ball was a touch below that. The 2-1 pitch on the way, down and in, 3-1. So a 3-1 count to Alvarez. You can definitely tell Eovaldi's pitching around him. He's willing to put him on and make the next guy beat him. The 3-1 pitch just misses outside, I guess. That'll be a 5-pitch walk, and Alvarez will go take first. That pitch actually looked like it was on the zone, so maybe that was a makeup pitch for the one that Blue missed just a few pitches ago. Yeah, I think some of our regulars are still burned out by the loss of the Braves. Plus, this is a weird start time, too. First pitch on the way to Abreu is down and away for a ball. No, they call that a strike. Okay. Looked a little off the edge. It's 0-1. Jose Abreu, 0 for 2. Runner on first, 1 out. Righty-righty matchup. Right there at the knees, 96 miles an hour, called for a strike. It's 0-2. I think folks will start getting more back into the swing of even the Braves fans will get back in the swing of watching the games as this series goes on, and especially going into the World Series. The 0-2 pitch, righty-righty matchup. Runner on first, 1 out. Eovaldi lets her go. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 95 miles an hour, up high and away, and there's 2 away. I mean, I'll be honest, it took a lot for me to get my game face on today. I'm usually excited to do every single game, but it's not that I wasn't doing a Braves game. It's just you still have that hangover, that loss. First pitch on the way to Brantley is off the plate, outer edge, called for a strike. It's 0-1. What's funny is I don't remember what college football game I was watching this weekend, but I know it was college football. And whoever the play-by-play guy was is the 0-1 pitch. Swung on, lifted into center field. That's going to get down for a base hit. It's going towards the gap. Out. Tavares cuts it off, fires it back into the infield. Here comes a throw to the plate, and Yordan Alvarez goes first to home, and it's 5-3. Astros keep chipping away. And Bochy still sticking with the Eovaldi. It's now 5-3. Texas lead is now just 2. There's 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. Got way too much of the plate on that one. Brantley, a good professional hitter his entire career, just took it and drove it into the gap. Didn't hit it far, didn't hit it hard, but hit them where they ain't. So runner at second, 2 outs. First pitch on the way to McCormick is a swing and a miss, strike. It's 0-1. Anyways, that college football game, whatever one it was, I feel like it was the Florida-South Carolina game, whatever it was. Trying to get lost in the college football world, trying to forget, this is Saturday, trying to forget all the, how numb you are from the baseball losses. The 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss, it's 0-2. And right in the middle of the 4th quarter, this jackleg for the play-by-play I'm almost positive it was the Florida-South Carolina game. He makes the comment that the South Carolina fans were mocking the Gator Chomp, and his comment is the 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. That'll end the inning, but not before. The Astros have cut it to 2. We'll finish that story about the dirtbag that was doing the college football game in my earshot when we come back.
Give a damn about the whole state of Florida, the whole state of Florida, the whole state of Florida. We don't give a damn about the whole state of Florida. We're from Tennessee.
At its heart lie mythic contradictions. A pastoral game born in crowded cities, an exhilarating democratic sport that tolerates cheating and has excluded as many as it has included. A profoundly conservative game that often manages to be years ahead of its time. It is an American odyssey that links sons and daughters to fathers and grandfathers. And it reflects a host of age-old American tensions between workers and owners, scandal and reform, the individual and the collective.
Welcome back. So anyways, back to that story. You can imagine sitting outside with the dogs, listening to the game, kind of watching it, kind of not. I had more of my eye on the Oregon game, but anyways, I'm listening to the Florida broadcast, the Florida South Carolina television broadcast, and this jackleg is comparing the South Carolina mocking the chop to the Philadelphia Phillies fans mocking the tomahawk chop in our series. And the moment he says it, he pauses. He goes, I apologize, Braves country. And I was like, thank you for your apology, but it's still too late. First pitch on the way from France is out there for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1 pitch, righty-lefty matchup, off the edge wide. It's 1-1. I know he knew exactly what he did the moment he did it. He's doing a Southeastern Conference football game, and he's opening a wound on Braves country. And I know he's probably thinking, uh-oh, I'm going to get added if I don't clean that up. The 1-2. Not that everybody watching the Southeastern Conference is a Braves fan, but I'd say 90% of us are. The 1-2 pitch on the way, down and in, 2-2. So a 2-2 count. Exactly, underwater. Righty-lefty matchup. Kicks, deals. Up high, misses, 3-2. Looks like Boers is warming up the right-hander in the bullpen. You would think Eovaldi's done now. I mean, they have really squeezed it out of him. Full count. France comes, sets, lets it fly. Swing, and rifles it foul down the line. I'm sorry, right behind him. I thought it went down the first base line, but it actually bounced foul behind Seager. Full count. So Corey Seager, Carter, and Garcia due up. The 3-2 pitch. Did he go around? They're going to say he went around, and Seager's not going to like this because he was tossing his bat heading towards first base. I have to take a look at this one. Third base umpire, yeah, it looked like he went around. Third base umpire Jordan Baker rang him up. It's always hard to tell from the view behind the pitcher's mound, but it did look like he offered. First pitch on the way to Evan Carter, the rookie. He's 0 for 1 coming in for Grossman after the pitching change. Takes it inside for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1 pitch down below the knees. 1-1. Though Texas has 5 and Houston has 3, Houston's had a lot more activity on the bases since the first inning. The 1-1 pitch. Yeah, I'm going to call that a very low strike at the knees. Carter doesn't like it. Can't say I blame him. It's 1-2. The 1-2 count. Righty-lefty matchup. France lets it go. 93 miles an hour, outer edge, 2-2. Texas 5, Houston 3. Top of the 7th inning. 36 pitches in this relief appearance for France. He's a starter during the regular season. The 2-2. Down and in, full count. So a full count to Carter. Texas leads by just 2. Once a 5-1 game, once a 4-0 game. The 3-2 pitch, down and in. Ball 4. So they'll take a walk. The reason why we were asking who everybody was pulling for, since we don't do the chop, we're going to start doing stuff like this for Texas, since it seems like most folks are pulling for Texas on this channel. So 1 down, 1 on. 84% of those that voted for Houston. So voted for Texas, excuse me. And that is going to bring us a pitching change. While they do that, I'm going to stick here with you because every time I bring this up, something happens and I can't finish the thought. Kim Yang, head of baseball operations in Miami. So she was technically the general manager. And this is what was sent to me on why, because my question was, why did she quit? What pushed her over the edge? I figured a lot of it has to do, and I'm sure it does, the fact that very talented executive. She, if you remember, she was the first female to get the executive position. She's done a great job in Miami, just a couple of years of work there. But my figure was that, well, she has an opportunity to get out. There's a lot of good jobs available, including the Boston Red Sox one. And she might be wanting to get the heck out of there because they're never really going to spend money in Miami. But this is what I got, as well as, yes, that was a part of it. I'll have to clean this up because the text that was sent to me from my Marlins guy. Let me clean this up because he was not happy with this whole thing. He said the Marlins were planning to hire a president of baseball operations. So basically, for the last couple of years, she has been the boss. She's ran the entire 9 yards. And they wanted to hire someone to make whoever this is, I don't know, male, female, it doesn't matter, to make this person her boss after she turned the entire thing around. Remember, she went through the Derek Jeter nonsense and got it cleaned up. And she basically said, to heck with that. She builds a playoff team, and basically her reward was going to be, it wasn't technically a demotion, but it's what it felt like to her. And so she's walking, and And I brought it up to him immediately. I said, man, she could be going to Boston. There's a lot of reasons for that. We'll get into that in a second. But maybe 10 minutes before I came on the air, I noticed that that rumor's already swirling. So this will bring Maton, who, if you remember, Maton was warming up early in the game in the first inning. He comes in. He'll be facing Adolis Garcia with a runner on first, 1 out. Misses outside for the first pitch. It's 1-0. The 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss up top. It's 1-1. So a 1-1 count. Righty-righty matchup. Matone comes set, turns around, fires it over to first, keeping the runner close by. Adolis Garcia 1 for 2 on the game. Standing at the plate, righty-righty matchup. Standing on deck is Abreu. Kerry, I got it all over the screen. What do you mean I got to remind you? The 1-1 misses down and away, well outside wide. 2-1. So the curveball misses outside. He started him off with 2 fastballs, went to the curve, tried to get him to chase. The 2-1 pitch. On the way, swung on, banged over to third, scooped up by Bregman. He'll flip it over to first. On the play, Carter moves down to second. Gets in a scoring position, but there are 2 away. So 2 outs, 5-3 your score. Matone is coming on, and he will now face, after getting Garcia out, he's now to face Mitch Garver, who's 1 for 3. He's hitting .294 this postseason with a home run. First pitch on the way to Garver is off the plate wide for a ball. It's 1-0. Righty-righty matchup. The 1-0 pitch. Just off the plate wide, 2-0. One of the main reasons why you won't hear me talk about hitting the like all that often is because we're being simulcasted on radio. And I also just don't think people want to hear that during the game. I see some of these other channels, and that's all they do is beg for likes. And to me, it's not a part of the game. The 2-0 pitch. Check swing, bouncer back to the mound. Matone's got it, flips it over to first, and he gets him out of the jam. When we come back, Houston will grab the bats. We're heading to the bottom of the 7th inning. Get up and stretch. 7th inning stretch.
All right, I can't see you. Let me hear you. All right, we out to the ball. We out to the find me something up
It's a shame, for it's 1, 2, 3, stretch around and be home again. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and cracker jacks. I don't care if I ever get back. Let me through.
You sound better tonight.
Welcome back. Game 2 of the ALCS, and we got us ourselves a good one. First pitch on the way from Josh Boers is down and away for a called low strike on the outer edge. It's 0-1. Pena, the number 8 hitter, the number 9 hitter, and Altuve are due up. We'll see which way they go. They could go pinch hitting again in the number 9 spot. The 0-1's down and away. It's 1-1. The 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss up top. 1-2. Most likely Diaz will stay in. He stayed in and went behind the plate, so you'd think that's where they would go. It's still early enough where you don't want to really take that risk. The 1-2 pitch. Kicks and deals. Bender misses just off the outer edge. It's 2-2. The 2-2. Swing and pops it back foul out of play. Straight gas. Right there on the hands. We'll do it again at 2-2. 97 miles an hour right there on the fists. John Spore's 29-year-old, 6'3", out of Washington, D.C. The 2-2 pitch swung on, grounded over to short. Should be playable. 6-3 put out. Seager to low, and there's one away. Josh Spore's played for those great Virginia baseball teams. Remember how good they were it hasn't really been that long ago. Came out of that Cavalier program, drafted by the Dodgers in 2015. Now I say it hasn't been long ago, but that's just me being old thinking 2015 was just a couple of days ago. The 0-1 pitch to Diaz, who's 0-1, came in to take up Maldonado. Pitch misses high and over the plate. It's 1-1. The 1-1 pitch swung on, grounded over to short. A one hopper into the glove of Corey Seager. He'll fire it over to first, and it's a 6-3 put out, 2 away. Spores in the regular season, by the way, not particularly impressive. A 5.5 ERA, a 1.15 whip. It's given up a ton of long balls, but here in the postseason, 3 1/3, 0 ERA, and a 0.6 whip. First pitch on the way to Jose Altuve is a curveball off the edge, swing and a miss for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1 pitch, curveball right there at the knees. It's 0-2. So an 0-2 count. Righty-righty matchup. Pitch down and away. 1-2. Texas 5, Houston 3. Pitch comes set. Lets her go. Down and away. 2-2. Abreu, the right-hander, is warming up in the Houston bullpen. The 2-2 pitch on the way. 97 mile an hour fastball just off the edge. Ball 3. So a full count to Altuve. Bregman stands on deck. Texas lead is just 2. A bloop and a blast ties this. Righty-righty matchup. Spores comes set. Lets her go. Curveball looking, strike 3. He absolutely buckled Altuve with that bender. We'll be back in a flash. Game 2 of the ALCS, and it has been a good one so far. Don't go anywhere. If I could change anything about basketball, it'd be to get rid of the X Games. Welcome back to Braves Country. Mac
It
Magee
is a haunted game in which every player is measured against the ghosts of all who have gone before. Most of all, it is about time and timelessness, speed and grace, failure and loss, imperishable hope and coming home.
Here's a pitch. It's a slow curve low, and the Babe swings. It's a long one. It's in there. Another home run for the Bambino. So the Babe hits his second home of the day. Robinson with a good lead. There he goes. He hits the dirt and he's safe.
Welcome back. Game number 2, top of the 8th inning. Houston trails 5-3. Texas has the bats. Brian Abreu comes on, and I just saw something very interesting that I don't remember seeing before. Maybe some of you Braves fans do recall this. I think it just floated underneath me. Do you realize where the Atlanta Braves start their season next year on opening day? In Philadelphia. The 1-1 pitch swung on and banged foul down the first baseline. It's 1-2. Are you kidding me? Bad enough we have to play Philadelphia on opening day. Even worse, we're going to be at Philadelphia on opening day. The 1-2 righty-lefty matchup. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Heim down on strikes, and there's one away. Now we've got to find someone to beat Philly. I don't care if it's Arizona, Texas, Houston. I don't care, man. We do not want to be going into that stadium and watching them hang their stupid World Series championship banner. Ugh. So pitch on the way, and that ball is hit for an out, a quick out, number 2, and Josh Young will come to the plate. So a quick 2 up, 2 down. Pitch on the way to Josh Young is outside for a ball. It's 1-0. Sitting here in the top of the 8th inning. The 1-0 pitch. Down, misses down for another ball. It's 2-0. Start this inning off. Heim struck out swinging. Lowe popped out on the first pitch. So 2 up, 2 down, the 2-0. Swung on, rifled back, foul up against the screen. It's 2-1. Abreu coming in to try to slam the door shut and keep Houston in the game. They still have 2 more at bats, trail just by only 2. The 2-1, swing and a miss. Took something off of that one outside. Up top, it's 2-2. Set him up with the slider. Young just not timing it up. So a 2-2 count to Young. Righty-righty matchup. The 2-2 pitch. Down below the knees. Ball 3. Both Diaz and Abreu were heading to the dugout. The pitch was low, but to be fair, home plate umpire Mark Rippinger has been calling that pitch low all night long. And so he got a scowl from Abreu, the 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Went right back to that slider, and it got him tied up. That'll end the inning. The Rangers have just been holding on to this lead. We'll head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Astros grabbing the bats.
I see great things in baseball. It's our game, the American game. It will take our people out of doors, fill them with oxygen, give them a larger physical stoicism, tend to relieve us from being a nervous, dyspeptic set, repair these losses, and be a blessing to us. Walt Whitman.
No matter what technical data they've obtained, this station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
Don't be too proud of this technological terror you've constructed. It is insignificant next to the power of the Force.
Don't try to frighten us with your sorcerer's ways.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Welcome back. First pitch on the way to Bregman from Aroldis Chapman is swung on, popped up high into shallow center field. Here comes Tavares waving off the infield. Simeon has to dodge out of the way. He was trying to call for it. He does get out of the way, and it's F8 in your scorebook, 1 down. Kerry, we might have to do a Cincinnati Red ball game for you early in the season. I'll have to see where it doesn't line up against the Braves schedule, but I'll see if I can get that done. Talk to the powers that be. First pitch on the way. Lefty-lefty matchup to Chapman. Swing and a miss for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1 to Tucker. Down and away, nowhere near the zone. 98 miles an hour. 1-1. The Rangers trying to build it to the 9th inning, bringing Chapman in. Obviously, the main thing was to face Tucker and Alvarez. The 1-1 pitch, 99 off the plate, 2-1. I was trying to find the actual, day-by-day schedule, but everything that I Googled during the break was, them trying to get you to buy something. I just want to know what the schedule is on opening day, basically that opening weekend, because, most of these teams will take a day off and some won't, and how it works out. I know we had a lot of fun on the Cincinnati Reds Atlanta Braves broadcast the first time and the second time around. The 3-1 pitch right there at the knees for a strike, 98 miles an hour, just kisses the black. It's 3-2. I still say the best game I did all year long. We lost. It was a Friday night game in Cincinnati, and it was back and forth, fourth and back, one of the best games that I can ever remember doing. The 3-2 pitch, 100 miles an hour fastball swung on, dribbled over towards second. It's going to be a 4-3 put out, and there's 2 away. I'm assuming, Kerry, that's the one that was in Cincinnati, the Atlanta-Cincinnati series. I'm pretty sure. That's the one that sticks out to me, is the one that was played in Cincinnati. First pitch on the way to Alvarez is swung on, and you got to be kidding me. He blasts one into the right field seats, and it's a 1-run game. This Yordan Alvarez is unreal. 8th home run this postseason. The new Mr. October has made it a 1-run game. Yes, that was a phenomenal series. That was an incredible series. I cannot believe, he hung that slider. And I'll tell you what, it was on the outer edge, and he went and got it. He was sitting on that slider. Yordan Alvarez is just out of his mind right now. So Mr. October has made it a 1-run game. Raldis Chapman giving up the bomb. Abreu is due up. Leclerc is warming up. So it'll be interesting to see what Bochy does here. Yep, he's coming to go pull the plug. So we will be back in a flash. Big showdown here in the Lone Star State. 1-run game. They're pulling Chapman after he gives up the solo bomb. A second home run by Alvarez. And the Rangers are clinging on for dear life. We'll be back in a flash. American League Championship Series, game number 2. Welcome back. Leclerc to face Abreu. First pitch on the way is right there for a strike on the outer edge. Slider looking. It's 0-1. The 0-1 pitch. Righty-righty matchup. Pitch on the way. Did he go around? Looked like he offered. He did not. 1-1. Showing here that Abreu's 0 for 6 lifetime versus Leclerc. Jose Leclerc. Right-handed fireballer, the 1-1 pitch. That one's down and away. 2-1. So a 2-1 count. Standing on deck is Brantley, so this could be a problem. They brought Leclerc to come in and face Abreu. Brantley stands on deck, and then McCormick if they can keep it going. The 2-1 to Abreu. Righty-righty. Just misses down and away. Ball 3. So 3-1 your count. Leclerc has come in nibbling straight out of the pen. He got that first called strike. He's been trying to get him to chase ever since. The 3-1 pitch. Another nibbler. Ball 4. So Leclerc comes out and immediately walks the first man he sees, bringing the go-ahead run to the plate. Mike Maddox is going to come out there and talk to Leclerc, but he can't pull him. If you're just joining us, home runs have been the name of the game here for Houston tonight. 2 home runs by Jordan Alvarez. Jordan Alvarez. I don't know where I got Jordan from. Also a home run by Bregman. They're sending Abreu down. Curious to see if they pinch run for Abreu. Doesn't appear that they're going to. Abreu does not run well. They've got the infield playing the pull. 2 outs. Righty-lefty matchup. Game on the line. The first pitch, down and away. It's 1-0. McCormick stands on deck. The 1-0 pitch. Off the plate wide, 2-0. So a 2-0 count. Leclerc has thrown 6 balls and 1 strike since he's come out of the bullpen. The 2-0 from Leclerc, down and away, 3-0. So nibbling once again, he's fallen behind. At this point, you almost have to just put him on because you don't want to hang one to a very dangerous hitter in Brantley. The 3-0 pitch, outside wide, ball 4. So he has thrown 9 pitches since he's come out of the bullpen. The first one barely grabbed the corner. The next 8 have all been well out of the zone. Runners on first and second. 2 outs. Leclerc being asked to hold this lead. The first pitch on the way. Nowhere near the zone. 1-0. Chas McCormick, righty-righty matchup, dangerous hitter. The 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss. Got him to reach for that cutter on the outer edge. It's 1-1. Leclerc, 29-year-old. This year with a 2.68 ERA. 67 strikeouts in 57 innings. The 1-1 swung on, grounded over to third. Another juggling play by Young. He stays with the ball, steps on the bag, and that'll end the inning. But another really shaky defensive play by the youngster at third. Will be back in a flash. The Rangers clinging to a 1-run lead.
One summer day in 1839 at Cooperstown, New York, on the shores of Lake Otsego, the local academy was playing a game of town ball against Green's Select School. The rules of town ball were so loose that every hit was fair, and boys sometimes ran headlong into one another. That day, an academy player named Abner Doubleday sat down and on the spot drew up the rules for a brand new game and called it baseball. Abner Doubleday would eventually become a hero at the Battle of Gettysburg, and his game would become the national pastime, or so the legend has it. Abner Doubleday really was a distinguished soldier, but he was at West Point, not Cooperstown, that summer, never claimed to have had anything to do with baseball, may never have even seen a professional game.
What are you thinking about? Marriage? Family? Well, they're prisons. Man-made prisons. You're doing time. You get up in the morning, she's there. You go to sleep at night, she's there. Yeah, and you can forget about watching TV while you're eating. Because it's dinner time. And you know what you do at dinner? What? You talk about your day. What was your day today? Did you have a good day today or a bad day today? Well, what kind of day was it? Well, I don't know. How about you? How was your day?
Armchair.
Welcome back, Ryan Presley. It's coming into the game. Longtime back of the bullpen guy for the Houston Astros is coming in to try to keep this game exactly where it's at, a 1-run game as we head to the top of the 9th inning. It's a 1-run game, 5-4 is your score. First pitch on the way from Presley to Tavares, the number 9 hitter, is down and in for a ball. It's 1-0. 1-0. Righty-lefty matchup. Down and away, 2-0. You remember Tavares hit a triple earlier in the game that was quickly doubled off. It's a ball that was hard hit at third. The 2-0 pitch. Off the plate wide, ball 3. Rangers would love to get some breathing room for Leclerc, assuming he's going back out there. I would think that he is. The 3-0 pitch. On the way, ball 4. So a 4-pitch walk gets things going here in the top of the 9th inning. Rangers leading by just 1. Tavares has got speed. Standing on first, righty-righty matchup. The first pitch on the way to Simeon is swung on, foul back out of play. It's 0-1. You're looking at how this game has played out. Texas scored 4 runs in the first inning. They got a solo shot in the third. Other than that, the offense has been basically non-existent. The 0-1 pitch, down and away, 1-1. Tavares did get that triple, but quickly got doubled off. So you almost erase it from your memory. Righty-righty matchup. Presley comes set. The pitch on the way. Whoa, high. That ball goes up against the backstop. Tavares will easily take second. No longer do they have to worry about if he's going to steal second. That ball was nowhere near the glove of Diaz. I'd say that ball probably went about 8 feet high. So Presley, I don't know if he just lost the footing or the grip or what, but you got a 2-1 count, runner on second, pitch on the way, swung on, banged off the plate by Simeon. It's 2-2. Rangers 5, Astros 4, top of the ninth. Critical game for the Astros. They do not want to head back to Texas down 2-0. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Simeon came out of his shoes on a changeup in the dirt below the knees. There's one away. 1 down, and that'll bring Corey Seager to the plate. Seager, righty-lefty matchup. First pitch on the way to Corey is a swung on, banged off the plate foul. It's 0-1. Seager, arguably the best batsman in this series, not named Yordan Alvarez. The 0-1 pitch. Down and away, 1-1. Remember, he signed that big free agent contract to come over from the Dodgers. Still has one of the smoothest swings in all of baseball. Very few holes in it. And Presley's very aware of that as he comes set. The 1-1. Swung on, grounded over to first. Abreu's got it. He'll get over there before Seager can. Steps on the bag. And there's 2 away. Tavares does go down to third base. But with 2 away, the infield can play back. Now, the one thing that's got to be going through the mind of Dusty Baker and the Houston Astros faithful is to make sure Presley doesn't throw another wild pitch, because a wild pitch would score a run. And wouldn't you know it, Evan Carter, the man of the hour, is standing at the plate. The first pitch on the way to Evan is a curveball swung on, banged off the plate foul. It's 0-1. Carter, the youngster who came up shortly before the season ended and has stayed hot throughout September and into October. The 0-1 pitch. Swing, and that ball's grounded. Just foul. Abreu was going to be able to step on the bag and end the inning, but couldn't get to it quite in time. Just kicked foul maybe 2 feet before the first base bag. So Evan Carter will live to fight another day here. He's down 0-2. That would have ended the inning. Rangers desperately trying to get one more run across for an insurance run heading to the bottom of the ninth. Runner at third, 2 outs, an 0-2 pitch. Presley comes set. The offering. Down below the knees. Man, did that barely miss. Looked like it might have actually grabbed the zone, but called for a ball. It's 1-2. He's gone curveball, changeup, curveball. Trying to get Presley to roll over on one. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and bangs that foul over towards the first base dugout. We'll do it again. It's 1-2. Rangers 5, Astros 4. Presley about to throw his 17th pitch of the inning. Tavares with speed standing at third, so he can't throw anything that gets away. He'll score with ease. Diaz is going to go out there and talk to Presley real quick, go over what they want to do. I was looking at the schedule. I finally found some dates, but it's weird. They haven't set all the dates for all the teams. So I guess I'll have to wait a few weeks before, but we'll make something happen with Cincinnati. The 1-2 pitch. Swung on, pop back, foul out of play. We'll do it again. It's 1-2. It's really odd. They have the Braves playing Seattle on a random one game in May. That's all they have filled out past opening day until you get much deeper in the season. The 1-2 pitch misses high and outside. It's 2-2. So a 2-2 count. Runner at third. 2 outs. Standing on deck is Garcia. The 2-2 outside wide, ball 3. You know Presley does not want to face Adolis Garcia. That pitch was just off the plate, but it definitely was high and wide. A full count to Carter. The pitch on the way. Swing, and that ball is hit hard over to the right side. Altuve's got it, fires it over to first, and it's a 4-3 put out to end the inning. Rangers threaten, but that stops right there. We'll be back in a flash to see if the Astros can tie or walk this off. We head to the bottom of the 9th.
Baseball has nearly all the qualities and the narrative that the country has. It's competitive. It's spirited. It's got the joshing, and it's got the intellectual side, the great students of it. But it's also got labor unions and management and gimmicks and promotion and venality and great public fools in baseball and great public heroes and self-serving people and generous people. And it has pride and unity of town and of country, and it'll do for a figure for the American system.
I don't believe what I'm seeing. Where you been all your lives? At an orgy? Listening to Mick Jagger music and bad-mouthing your country, I'll bet. Use your peripheral vision. Understand?
Yes, sir.
Now, every time I say understand, I want the whole group to say, yes, sir. Understand? Yes, sir. Understand? Yes, sir. Now, I know why most of you are here. We're not stupid. Before you get to sell what we teach you over at United Airlines, you have to give the Navy 6 years of your life, Sweet Pea. Lots of things can happen in 6 years. Another war can come up in 6 years.
welcome back. Leclerc is going to go back out there to the hill. He's going to try to get 3 very difficult outs and try to send this back to Texas with the Rangers leading 2-0. If he cannot do that, the Astros will either tie this up and it will head to extras, or they'll walk it off and tie up the series. First pitch on the way to Jeremy Pena is splitter on the outer edge for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Righty-righty matchup. Pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Came out of his shoes on that one. It's 0-2. Yeah, Pena, Diaz, and Altuve are due up. You would have to get 2 more guys on to face Alvarez. And at that point, if you have 2 on and 2 out, I'm walking Alvarez. I don't care what the situation is. The 0-2 pitch. Righty-righty matchup. Leclerc lets her go. Outside wide, 1-2. So a 1-2 count. The pitch on the way. Swung on, lifted high, deep into right field, going back on the track at the wall, making the catch is Garcia. He's about 3 feet away from what would have been pay dirt for Pena. Loud, long out, number 1. You see some of these pitchers that are on for both sides starting to think the answer isn't for the Atlanta Braves to get aggressive in the offseason. The answer is to just get over to the American League. First pitch on the way, swung on, popped up high, and out of play. It's 0-1. I'm joking. The Astros and Rangers are very good, but when you consider what we just watched, whew, good luck facing Philadelphia if they get there. The 0-1 pitch. Off the plate wide, 1-1. I think a lot of us are hoping that Arizona is so young, they don't know they aren't supposed to be doing what they're doing, and they go in and upset Philly. But I don't know. I have a hard time believing it's going to happen. The 1-1 pitch, swung on, hit hard on the ground. Young's got it, fires it over to first. It's a 5-3 putout, and that was a good defensive play. We've seen some gaffes by Young in this game, but that was a very good play. Hard hit ball. One hopper scalded to his glove side. He had to lean, scoop, jump, and flip it all in one motion to get Diaz, who was bussing it down the line. Oh, I'm definitely pulling for Arizona. Don't get me wrong, but it's going to be an interesting series. They've got Gallen versus Wheeler tonight. If they could steal that one, you could really make a. As the first pitch on the way to Leclerc to Altuve is down and in for a ball. It's 1-0. Altuve, Bregman stands on deck, Tucker in the hole, and Alvarez 3 batters away. The 1-0 pitch off the plate wide, 2-0. So a 2-0 count. Righty-righty matchup. Leclerc lets it go right there at the knees for a strike. It's 2-1. Rangers 5, Astros 4, 2 outs, bottom of the 9th, game 2. The 2-1 from Leclerc. Just below the knees, ball 3, good take by Altuve. Altuve trying to find any way to get aboard. Of course, he'll take a hack at one if he can get on base. The 2-1 pitch on the way. Swung on, lifted high and deep into center field, going back just before the warning track. He'll make the catch. And a long out number 3. Tavares puts it away. And the Texas Rangers have taken a 2-0 lead in a best-of-7 series. The next 3 are heading back to Texas. Well, I guess that sounds weird. The next 3 are heading back to Arlington. The Rangers are just 2 wins away from the World Series. We will have pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play of this series Wednesday night, Thursday night, and if necessary, Friday afternoon. The Friday game is an earlier game. It's a 5 o'clock game. Wednesday and Thursday, 8 o'clock. Friday, 5 o'clock. If there's a game 6, we'll have that. That's at 8 o'clock. Game 7 would be Monday night at 8 o'clock. And there is no threat of rain delays or rainouts because both these teams play inside. Rangers win. The Texas Rangers win 5-1. What an incredible game. It's a pleasure bringing this to y'all. Hope to see y'all on Wednesday night as Texas holds on. They get a 4-0 lead in the first, and they hold on to win this one 5-4. You're giving out game balls. I guess considering how it went down, I guess we got to give it to Nathan Eovaldi. He went 6 innings, 9 strikeouts. He gave up 3 earned runs, but he gutted through that. And there was no one batter that really stood out. It was a good pitching performance, not a great, but a solid one. And they got enough runs in the first inning to really make the difference. But I think we all know this series isn't over because Houston will not go down without a fight. They'll go into Texas. And I saw something very interesting before we came on the air. Do you know that the Houston Astros this season, including the postseason, are minus 20 runs, run differential at home, but plus 154 on the road? They're a better offensive road team. So we'll see how that plays out in game number 3, Wednesday night, 8 o'clock. We'll be right here. We'll come on with the pregame show a little before. Same thing on Thursday night. And if there's a game 5, 5 o'clock on Friday. Y'all have a great night. Rangers win 5-4 in a great, hard-fought game by both sides. We'll see you Wednesday. Tomorrow, Braves Country Today comes on at 4 o'clock. College football is the theme tomorrow. It'll drop at 4. Y'all have a great night, y'all. What an outstanding game. And congratulations to any Rangers fans that are listening and Astros fans, if you're listening, I'm telling you, it's not over. This team's got a lot of fight. I've got a lot of respect to watch this team fight and fight after what we had to watch. Y'all have a great night.